You teach everyone in the world how to respect you.
In half a mile, use the left lane to take the I-10 East exit toward Tucson.
We have a word anger and then we think, oh, anger. But anger is actually a very intelligent expression of an energetic boundary. You can get...
Guys, I would like you guys to listen to this. It's only 10 minutes long.
Use the left lane to take the I-10 East exit.
You teach everyone in the world how to respect you by asserting your boundaries. And so anger is a useful tool. And we have a word anger and then we think, oh, anger. But anger is actually a very intelligent expression of an energetic boundary. You can give it a negative connotation, as many people do. Oh, you're angry, you must not be enlightened. It's like, okay, that's part of the world that have these funny stories where you're not allowed to care about what you care about. You're supposed to let people just bulldoze in and take it. Because altruism is held as a value. Others first. That's what makes for a sick society.
The rest of the road
is the whole idea that you have to put everyone else first except for you. So if you put yourself first, what you find is that instantly the greatest feeling you can offer is loving other people, but you found it authentically. This is why religions ultimately are ridiculous. This is why most programs of others first end up failing. They create incredible resentment. And it comes out in all kinds of ways. Addictive behavior, disease, fear, constant obsession with being entertained. You know, it's like, just take care of yourself, and you'll find out that the greatest thing you can do is to care about other people, because that's the best feeling there is. Total selfishness leads to love. But you can't learn this until you're able to establish a boundary. And in that boundary, you teach people how to respect you. And when they do, and you respect them, then there's incredible mutual wow. And until then, there's always this kind of constant negotiation. Or there's avoidance and you just kind of seek out the people that are safe. Well, that doesn't have to happen. It's just, hey, you know what? I really want to be friends with you or share an experience with you. And when you do that, this is what happens. So if you're willing to not do that, cool, I'm open. And if you can't, no problem. You just can't come any closer. Respect is the most important thing that happens on earth. It's the only enlightenment there is. The spiritual circus, for all of its wonderful entertaining qualities, has nothing to offer if it doesn't offer respect for each other. So, respect. And the only way people can learn how to respect you is when you teach them. And you teach them by saying, oh, you can't come in here with that. And I care about you. And you can't come in here with that. And I care about you. If you actually care about it. So I know that this is kind of vague in that, you know, well, how do you do that? It's all situational, it's all contextual, the world keeps teaching you. Somebody's going to come, and they're going to do something to you that you don't like, and you just have to tell them, which is so funny. It can be as simple as, you know, when you do that, I don't like that. And if they say, well, I don't care, too bad, then you know they don't actually care about you, and that's not the relationship to continue to have. And if you can't walk away from someone who disrespects you, that's no one's fault but your own, and your suffering is yours. And it's not that you're doing something wrong, it's just at some point you have to grow up and establish boundaries with people in your life so that you feel like you're actually honoring who you are. You know, the whole martyr syndrome. You live your whole life doing nice things for other people, but if somebody were able to poke you in the right spot, this rage would come out that would fill the world. Because you've been busy lying and denying the one person that's actually here. So the solution to that is, I don't like that. And I care about you, and I'd love to have an experience with you, but I'm not interested in that. Whatever that is that you just did, I'm not interested in that. This is how you can respect me. When I'm talking, listen. If I don't ask you questions, don't give me advice. You know, ask me questions about how you can help me if you want to care about me. You know, all day long, I mean, my whole relationship with Sandra is constant, like, hey, what about this? Do you want this? No, this. Is this what it is? How can I help you right here? We have to teach each other how to spend time with each other because we're each totally unique. And the insanity of assumption and expectation is that we're all psychic. Well, they should know. Don't they know who I am? Nobody knows anybody. I don't even know myself. So we have to keep communicating. We have to. It's the only solution. Otherwise, we live in a world of either avoiding people or being passive-aggressive, which is the ugliest thing, or lying. So avoiding passive aggression and lying are all solved by healthy anger. This is my boundary, and you may not cross it, and I'm interested in inviting you in. I just want to make sure that you know how to respect me, and here's how you can do it. Because I want to respect you too, and you're going to have to tell me how to do that. And I will say yes or no depending on what resonates. Each of us is a business. We're constantly negotiating with each other. We're just doing it, either we're doing it in a way that is obvious, or we're doing it in a way where we're really waiting and waiting and waiting and
by the way, if
wading
you're
through in our
Keanu's
hip
driving,
boots and our plastic suits,
16.
right, you know? We're looking for the cue, you know? Oh, they did that. Cool, I can do this. It's like we just have to ask. We just have to talk. You know, it's the honesty. It's just being honest. That scene in Beautiful Mind when Russell Crowe, when Nash asks the girl, do you remember Beautiful Mind? Have you seen it? It's so great. He's sitting with her under the tree and he says, whatever I have to say to where we get to the point where we have intercourse, can we just pretend I said that? I mean, it's that kind of awesome honesty. Like, you know, like that's it. He's not trying to pull punches. He's not worried if she says yes or no, but either way, he plays the card. So you have to be willing to play the card that is most true for you and let the other person deal with it. And don't worry, there's 7 billion people on Earth. It's so easy to become tunnel visioned on one person and think, well, this is where my love, approval, and admiration is going to come from. It's totally crazy. We like loving each other, and there's so many of us here. So many of us here. Not everyone's going to resonate. We're not all one. That is hopeful poetry for cowards. We're not all one. So let's negotiate. Let's communicate. Let's talk to each other. Let's tell each other how it is, what we like, how we want to be respected and respect. That's so much more interesting, and it's so much more intimate than the assumption, the sort of hopeful metaphysical assumption that we're all connected. We can extrapolate all kinds of things from this place, come up with all kinds of inferences and conclusions, and none of them are sexier, to me, none of them are sexier than straight up communication, negotiation, seeking mutual self-interest that is fundamentally satisfying. Because assumptions aren't satisfying, and you know that. You know living in assumption. You know waiting for the guy or the girl or the parent or the boss to somehow psychically get the way you are. You know what that's like waiting for them. It's miserable. You wait forever. So the opposite of that is communication. This is how I feel loved. This is how I feel cared about. This is how I feel respected. It's okay if you don't want to do it, but I have to explain it to you so that you know you have the information. And to do that requires that you have to know yourself. So, how do you disrespect yourself? And can you stop doing that? Because it's crazy to expect someone else to stop if you can't. So find where do you disrespect yourself and stop. Do you go to a job you hate? Do you listen to conversations you can't stand? Do you eat food you don't really like but you read somewhere on TV that it's good for you? Do you endure? Just find what you're enduring and it feels like enduring and see what happens if you just stop enduring things. Do you feel respected? Do you feel honored? Do you feel cared about? Because you're the one person who can do it, and I understand if you don't want to. Growing up is not easy. And I don't mean that in any way, shape, or form condescendingly. It's not easy. It requires looking in the mirror and going, oh my God, this is how it actually is for me. And I have to tell other people that, oh wow, okay. And then you practice. And what's so cool is you get so much practice. The world just keeps happening.
Just stop and then go. It's all right.
And you can do it.
Stop
That's what's beautiful.
And then go.